The DNA, they say it is like nothing that has been seen before.
Try and clear up an ancient mystery with the help of a prominent veterinarian who says she can prove that Bigfoot exists and that he's related to all of us.
Sasquatch, Yeti, the abominable snowman, whatever you call it, there are several scientists, yes, scientists, they say they're scientists, they claim they have DNA evidence of its existence, and they say Sasquatch is part human.
Hey, my Renaissance men and women, welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all could make it back here. Well, what do we have here today? It seems like the proof is finally out there. There's no more denying it. There's no more questioning it. Everything we need to know that this creature exists is going to be right here in this video, with a little bit of sarcasm on it, of course. Firstly, let me explain something here. I'm not part of the Bigfoot world. I'm not on the left side, the right side of this whole Bigfoot war that's happening. I've had some encounters. I've had 2 visual encounters, and I've had, I don't even know how many times, some rocks or hooting or hollering or yelling. A Sasquatch cupped my head once when I was laying in my tent with its hand. That was probably the scariest encounter that I had, because the thing physically touched me and I did not move. I did not make a peep. I laid there, let it do its thing, and it stopped and walked away, and that was it. But I need to explain, I'm not a Sasquatch researcher. I don't watch every single Sasquatch video that's uploaded to YouTube and every single channel and troll these channels and all this stuff. I've seen Sasquatch twice, had my encounters. I have this channel. I do multiple videos about the topic, but that's it. I'm not that guy that's deeply embedded into this. There's some total wackos out there that are obsessed with this topic, and I'm not one of them. So I do have to say, since meeting Sasquatch Randy, and Sasquatch Randy is a great, awesome guy. I talk to him all the time. But the thing is that when I met Sasquatch Randy and I posted the videos with Randy doing what we were doing in Golden Years, that's when I first got my first taste of this whole Sasquatch world. I had people attacking me online, some people even threatening me, and it wasn't till meeting him and showing what I seen with Randy and proving a few things about the stump and stuff. Like, and obviously there's a huge group of people out there that are against. Seems like there's 2 sides, and these 2 sides are against one another. I have no clue why, and I do not care. I don't want any part of it. But let's jump into this video. I just wanted to explain that, and I know what you're going to see it's old news. I want to go over it. And like I said, I'm not on any side here. So I want to go over this video, and I want to ask you guys to leave me some comments on this one, because seeing this video actually made me rethink almost everything about this topic. And some of the people presenting this topic. And we'll get all into that right now. Check this out.
Bigfoot is real. Just ask the researchers who captured this video. These images have never been seen until now. The group behind it is known as the Sasquatch Genome Project. A genetic scientist, Dr. Ketchum, led the effort.
We just want people to understand this is a serious study.
Oh, and by the way, I will be interrupting this entire clip in a couple of different segments. I do need to explain some things going through this video. Firstly, Dr. Melba S. Ketchum. She was on Coast to Coast or something recently. I honestly didn't watch it. I'm not sure what it was discussing, but I had a bunch of people contact me and be like, oh, did you watch her video there or whatever on Coast to Coast? Did you watch it? And I had to say no, I didn't, because I've heard of the Genome Project plenty, but honestly I've heard the name Melba Ketchum, but I didn't really know anything about her until making this video. So I do want to fill other people in. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I may be the minority of people watching this type of content. I will run it down. Dr. Melba S. Ketchum moved to a small rural town in the forests of Texas after graduating from Texas A&M University with a doctorate in veterinary medicine. She practiced as a veterinarian for several years before entering the field of genetics and becoming the director of a large laboratory. Melba continues to work in the field of genetics and lives in the area where there are frequent sightings of the forest people reported, making her privy to the local lore surrounding them. This promoted her to write her first installments of the Mystic Forest Saga. So she's an author too, and I gotta ask you guys, what's up with this? All these dudes are authors too. Again, I'm not choosing sides here. I'm just asking questions from an outsider's look, I guess, into this world that I really want no part of, but I have to dip my feet in a bit here because this is a large portion of my channel's videos is about this topic. So again, with the books, it's like Melba has some books. The other guy that I'm going to mention has a book here. We got Steve Isdahl. I think he's on his second book now. He's going to publish soon. David Paulides has a few books on Sasquatch and all kinds on missing people, of course. And then Scott Carpenter, he just has a massive stack of Sasquatch books that he's published. And the list goes on and on and on. I think all the so-called researchers and stuff, they all have some books and stuff out there, but I guess I'm falling behind, folks. So let me reveal something to you right here. The Renaissance Man in the Sasquatch, written by J.R. Thompson. That is myself. That's kind of a joke, folks, but maybe, would you guys want to see a book wrote by Renaissance Man? Let me know in the comments.
Five-year study cost more than $500,000, all given by businessman Adrian Erickson.
Just people have chosen to they don't want to believe it. They can't find in their minds to believe these things exist.
Adrian Erickson, founder and CEO of Destiny Resource Services Corporation. He went to Hines Creek High School and studied various post-secondary business courses. I think he's from Osoyoos, British Columbia, so not far from where I'm at. Adrian grew up hunting and trapping with Aboriginals in northern Alberta. Even before I graduated, I was into guiding and outfitting moose and bear hunts from the USA. The upsurge in oil and gas exploration in the mid-70s I expanded into reclamation services and eventually grew to become a multifaceted international exploration service corporation, Destiny Resources. Along the way, several complementary companies such as Peace Helicopters and Destiny Drilling were added, along with many overseas operations. Ultimately, we were active in some 15 countries on 5 continents and always fostered excellent relations with local indigenous people. My love for bow hunting took me on 37 safaris to 9 countries. In Africa, where I contributed strongly to conservation efforts in school construction projects. Well, that's pretty cool. Sounds like he's a big game hunter as well. I gotta say, personally, I'm not really down with the whole big game trophy hunting, but I am, if it is helping out the local indigenous communities there. A lot of the times, all the meat will go to the village, and a huge portion of the money may even end up to those villages if you're doing it in the right spot. There is a ton of corruption involved in that kind of stuff as well. So as long as the money's going in the right places, that to me sounds okay. But I guess that's where when he was hunting with the Aboriginals in Alberta, obviously, that's probably where the whole Sasquatch thing first began for Adrian. So again, I've seen this guy's face somewhere, but what I just read there is all I know about this guy, and a few other things which we're going to get to. Just wanted to read a quick little news article that I found online. It's from August 12th, 2011 at 6 p.m. and it comes out of Maple Ridge and Pitt Meadows News. The legend of Bigfoot is as close as the forests and mountains of Maple Ridge. From a thicket of hemlock, a rock fell at Jason Erickson's feet with a thud. It was followed by a second volley, a scattering of tiny pebbles, bound to get his attention. From the trees that crowded the base of the rocky slope, he heard a purr, a bass vibrating sound. He was sure it didn't come from a cougar or a bear. I've grown up in the bush, and it's definitely something different, Erickson said. Stretching from the edge of Maple Ridge to the rugged reaches of Mount Blanchard, Golden Ears Provincial Park is 62,540 hectares of second-growth forest, home to beaver, deer, black bear, and mountain goat. But lurking in the red cedars and moss-covered Douglas firs is where a legend comes to life. Sasquatch, the gigantic beast in First Nations mythology, the comical kokanee beer mascot, has been barking at Jason, tossing pebbles at him, banging on trees. He hasn't seen one, but I want to believe they are real. Jason's dad, Adrian Erickson, is your stereotypical outdoorsman, tall and rugged with weathered skin. He grew up on a small farm in northern Alberta, hunting and trapping with his father at a young age to help supplement their meager income. He saw his first Sasquatch at the age of 7, shrugging off the encounter as something normal. Just another beast in the forest, as nothing odd. By the age of 16, while still in high school, Erickson was guiding American moose hunters, and after graduating, expanded his guiding and outfitting business into reclamation work for the oil and gas industry. At the age of 26, Erickson put down the gun and switched to a bow. He's comfortable trekking into the wild, spending days camped far from civilization, alone, braving all kinds of weather. In 2001, not far from Jasper, Alberta, a Sasquatch quite literally crossed his path. He admits he intentionally dismissed it as a cow moose, but he couldn't avoid the nagging, gnawing notion that the lumbering, hairy brown creature he had seen was no ungulate. He had to find out more. Founded in 1995, the Bigfoot Field Research Organization bills itself as the only scientific research organization exploring the Bigfoot Sasquatch mystery. It is a virtual community of scientists, journalists, volunteers, and the curious who maintain a database of sightings and research. When Erickson Googled Sasquatch a decade ago, the BFRO was likely an easy accessed encyclopedia. I realized how much evidence there was out there, says Erickson. He devoured the BFRO's compilation of eyewitness reports from across the continent, the Patterson footage, and research done by retired BC journalist John Green. Soon, Erickson signed up as a researcher and began to interview people in the US and Canada who claimed to have seen a Sasquatch. These were the people who were dismissed as kooks, ridiculous folks who had lost their jobs after revealing they believed in a beast that shared the same plane as fairies and the Loch Ness Monster. It made Erickson wonder, why is Sasquatch shunned by science? If scientists put 10 cents of the effort into proving this existence rather than trying to prove it didn't exist, this would have been recognized decades ago as a species, says Erickson. By 2005, Erickson had talked to hundreds of eyewitnesses who were relieved to speak about Sasquatches to someone who took them seriously, who had seen them himself. Tired of the wayward stares and sneers, he started the Erickson Project that year, the first multi-site field study of the Sasquatch in Canada and the US. The goal was to have it recognized as a species. It is to vindicate the thousands of people who have been ridiculed, says Erickson, who has been juggling a quest for Sasquatch while he develops acreage in Osoyoos with his two sons, Jason and Ryan. The term Sasquatch is an anglicized derivative of the word Saskits, meaning wild man. Aboriginal tribes across North America have more than 60 different terms for the Sasquatch. The Bigfoot isn't just a North American legend. Yeti, the abominable snowman, is said to inhabit the Himalayan region of Nepal, India, and Tibet. The Mapingwira is a giant sloth-like creature that is featured in legends throughout the Amazon, while Yowies are the ape men of the Australian outback. Bigfoot researchers pledge to study the species in ways that will not harm them. It's why Erickson won't tranquilize the creatures. To kill them, he says, would be akin to murder. Erickson says he has seen the Sasquatch with his own eyes. So armed with cameras, in 2005, the Erickson Project began its quest to document the Sasquatch, capturing what could be one of the only films of the creature since 1967 Patterson-Gimlin film. Most scientists believe the Patterson film is a hoax with a man in an ape suit, but some people, including Erickson, insist it's a creature unknown to science. The creature in the Patterson film resembles the Sasquatch he's seen, says Erickson. They have well-defined muscular physiques, long arms, and walk like runway models. Erickson and his Real Productions team say they filmed the Sasquatch in Maple Ridge and in US locations. They didn't just film one, but several. They caught them sleeping, peering through trees, and via thermal image. In his film, you can hear the Sasquatch make a low, guttural sound. The kind that makes your hair stand on edge. The creatures are in a variety of colors: gray, brown, and orangutan orange. The location in Golden Ears Provincial Park was ideal because it had been hiked for more than a decade by the man who reported the sightings to Erickson. The Sasquatch were not afraid to interact with the man, growing more familiar with him as he returned to the area. Erickson filmed at the location for 2 years and collected hair samples from what he says is a gray, light-colored Sasquatch. You whistle, they whistle back. They won't interact with strangers, he explains. Not all encounters are visual. The Sasquatch like to chuck rocks at you. They are skittish. We don't know why they pick certain people to show themselves to, says Erickson. Although Erickson captured Sasquatch several times in clear, crisp image, he soon realized people would still dismiss the video as a hoax. The more evidence we got, scientists started backing away further, and we got really tired, he says. We realized DNA was the only thing. He hired a biologist who had a PhD in ecology and evolutionary biology from Princeton University, along with Dennis, who set out to collect blood, salvia, hair, and skin samples. A resident of Colorado who was an avid outdoorsman who had some strange encounters while camping in the backcountry. Dennis, married with 4 children, he has spent the past 6 years hunting Sasquatch with a camera and baiting them for food for samples of their DNA. The Erickson Project picked sites in Maple Ridge, Texas, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Alabama where they knew they could get close to the creatures. Dennis says the reports from these locations were incredible, and the Sasquatch were known to return to the area, especially to snack on human food. Much like bears, it seems the Sasquatch have a taste for garbage and sweet things. Dennis spent 6 months of the year visiting the research sites, trying to perfect his techniques. He missed birthdays, many Christmases, and his son's graduation. It took thousands of hours to collect the DNA, he says. I have spent days in tree stands, on the ground, in tall weeds, with ticks, rain, snow, hell. Dennis baited the Sasquatch with dog food, but finds cakes and candies, Twinkies, ding-dongs are what they like best. He'd leave them at the site for 2 or 3 days and is confident that it was Sasquatch that took the snacks rather than a raccoon or bear. He also figured pancakes were an inexpensive and quick-to-create bait. When he didn't have time to cook pancakes, he'd drive to the local McDonald's and buy a stack. Sasquatch liked them, smothered in syrup. I often think I'm leading to an early death by cardiovascular disease, or the poor thing will end up with total tooth decay because of all the sweets, he says with a laugh. Dennis sees himself as someone on the mission to find answers. A lot of scientists won't risk their reputation or careers, he says. The discovery of a species, a bipedal humanoid, that is the greatest discovery of modern day man. How could they live all these years and we didn't know they were there? The fact is, people don't see them. Hunters talk about them all the time, but no one acknowledges it. People think I'm nuts. All right, that's it. I thought that was a pretty cool little article there. I just threw it on top of some footage of me and Sasquatch Randy out there. When he was talking about the guy that spent, not Dennis, but the other guy that he got to know and talk to, I'm not sure, that possibly may have been Sasquatch Randy. I'm not sure. Randy, if you're watching, fill us in on that. I'm sure you can fill us in on a ton of information on that whole story that I just read, because you've been searching Golden Ears Park for probably decades, and you're the man that would have multiple answers about a lot of this stuff. So hit Randy up, and don't forget to subscribe to his channel as well if you're not already. That's Sasquatch Randy Brisson.
So the group set out to track what they call the furry people. They say they followed a mother and daughter in Kentucky and captured various images and video. These are photos of massive prints. The video is compelling, but the strongest evidence the group has is DNA it says it's collected.
Okay, this is it. This is the meat and potatoes. Could this be the proof that's out there? Here's a DNA report on the study of the Sasquatch. I won't bore you with this entire report here. You guys are probably already sick of listening to me talk for nearly 30 minutes now, and we're not even halfway through this video. So I will just read this one page out for you. If you want to get this full report and download it, I think it's a pretty cool thing that you can kind of just go online and download and have it for your own. Like, I don't know, a lot of people have like a little collection of just cool stuff, and this is pretty cool. So I think I'll download it and add it to my office or something cool like that. Who knows? Maybe plaque it or something. Do whatever you want. But if you want to get that document, we will tell you where to get that coming up in the video. 111 samples of blood, tissue, hair, and other types of specimens were studied, characterized, and hypothesized to be obtained from elusive hominoid in North America, commonly referred to as Sasquatch. DNA was extracted, purified from a subset of these samples that survived rigorous screening for wildlife species identification. DNA sequencing, genetic sentencing, forensic, short tandem, repeat, testing, whole genuine single nucleoside. You know what? I'm tired of reading for this video, and there is a simplified version of this somewhere. I can't find it right now, and I've been working on this video for way too long. If you want to go over this study and everything, like I said, I will let you know where to do that later on in the video. Let's get back to it.
The group says there are thousands of these creatures in the United States, including right here in North Texas. As for the DNA, they say it is like nothing that has been seen before.
This creature does not follow the general rule. What it does do is it's very different. We think it is a human hybrid. That is our theory.
Keyword, folks, theory. I'll give you all a second to read the meaning behind that word.
Hybrid, they say, because some of the DNA samples sent to UT Southwestern, New York University, and the North Louisiana Crime Lab came back human, but others did not. They say the science is there, whether you want to accept it or not.
You're not dealing with an animal. You're dealing with something that walks on two legs, has children, and obviously through other types of research and audio, they have a language.
Troy Hudson. Troy had his first experience with the people called Bigfoot when he was 9 years old in southeast Oklahoma. Later in life, he attended a Bigfoot expedition with the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, the BFRO, in 2005 and became an investigator and later an organizer for the BFRO field expeditions in Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas.
All signs, the group says, that Bigfoot is no longer a big myth. In Dallas, Shari Williams, CBS 11 News.
Okay, that's the little skit I wanted to show you guys. And I do have to say, like, after learning what I've learned about people like Adrian and Dennis and these other folks in the video, it does sound like that they are genuine. I guess you could call them Sasquatch researchers. I don't see a problem with that, really. They're actually out there in the field doing legitimate research on Sasquatch, and they all have a pretty good backstory and stuff of why they're getting into this field and everything. And again, this is older news. I think they started way back in like 2001 or something, and quite a ways back, and I'm sure by now we all know what this whole thing is about, and it is about the Sasquatch Genome Project. And we will leave the link in the description for the Sasquatch Genome Project website. There you will find everything about this project from everyone involved, the scientists, biologists, people that funded it. You can also get that copy of the download of the DNA results as well for your collection or whatever you want to do. Sasquatch Randy actually shared a couple photos with me as well. These are some hair samples that he contributed to the project. A lot of people were involved. I think David Pilates helped fund it, or he was involved somehow, and just all kinds of people. You guys should really check out the website and go through it all yourself. I could literally stay here for days upon days reading everything that is on that website. Now, I wanted to get to some of the videos and stuff that they presented to the media. I want to get your guys' opinion on them, and let's check a few of those out now.
And now they're saying they have proof, DNA and video proof. On October 1st, the Erickson Project revealed their 5-year study and genomic sequencing of the Sasquatch, which they say passed peer review and was published in February. They also revealed the first facial footage ever recorded.
So what do you guys think of those videos? I want your honest opinions here. The one on the baby Bigfoot and the one walking from a distance with the thermal, it's just too hard to say. It's too far away. I can't get anything from that. But how about the baby sleeping, and how about this one of the facial features? I want your honest opinions, and leave those in the comments. Do you guys think that's legit? But it turns out I've actually seen a Sasquatch practically identical to that one that you see in front of you right now. My photos are quite a bit clearer and more crisp. Would you guys like to see my photos? I'll throw them up on the screen right now for you to check out. They're literally almost identical, these two Sasquatch. Yeah, what do you guys think? My first impression, I want to say fake on that one, on that face. Let me know what you guys think. I believe Chewbacca from Star Wars, or Chewie, or whatever you call the thing, is a representation of Sasquatch, and they will do that in a lot of movies. We all know that. They'll show little hidden things in movies and give us actual truth, sometimes hidden in our movies and television.
Leader Adrian Erickson set out to prove all the critics wrong and vindicate witnesses who say they've seen Bigfoot. But he knew that video proof wouldn't be enough. He says he collected saliva, blood, and hair from several Sasquatch, which he used for the DNA sequencing. So, is this enough to make you a believer?
So, is that enough to make you all believers? Firstly, I gotta let you guys know I held back a ton on this video of what I originally was going to share. I want to get your guys' opinion on this whole thing before I open up to how I feel about this whole project. I do believe there's legitimate stuff here, 100%. It's just the videos and stuff. Those two videos, the baby and the face there, as far as I know, that did not come out of Golden Ears Provincial Park. That came out of Kentucky, I believe. So what I want to know is, I'm not sure if those are Adrian's videos or not. I think they were someone who submitted it to the project. But Adrian keeps mentioning he has all these videos of clear, crisp of Sasquatch. But I'm yet to see these videos. I did notice on the Sasquatch Genome Project website that there is a bunch of videos that are locked, so you may need to give a fee or something to see those. But if anyone else knows or has seen Adrian Erickson's actual videos himself, not these, the baby and this other one, I would love to see those. and send me some links if you know where they're at, so I can actually see those, because I do not believe those 2 videos are even from Golden Ears, and he clearly says that he has video from Golden Ears Park of Sasquatch, and it's clear and it's crisp. So let's get that and take a look at that. Personally, like, if I was Sasquatch Randy, I think, and I put in a ton of work contributing to this project, I would almost feel like I got kicked in the nuts if they put my research alongside of that video. Maybe I'm totally wrong on this, but I've seen 2 Sasquatch. They look nothing like that. I realize that there's probably multiple different breeds of these Sasquatch people. Yeah, like there's supposed dog man and all these creatures out there. So maybe they're like intermingling or something. Everything is practically identical to that Chewbacca photo I just sent you. The nose, the ears, eyes, everything. But one of the reasons I'm making this video is I just want you guys to be a little more, I don't know the word right now, but remember what Melba said. She said, this is a theory, but I'm not playing sides here again. This is my opinion. That's all. We got people, and I watch these guys too, and I'm fans of them. I watch their work. I watch their channels and stuff. The part that I don't like with a couple channels, say Dave and Steve and maybe Scott and a few others, they kind of say like that, oh, it's 100%, the DNA's here, it says they're human hybrid, period. But the fact is, it's just a theory. So a lot of people listen to these guys and look up to these guys, and then when they hear them say these things, they're automatically, okay, yeah, it's 100% proof. Steve said it, so it's got to be 100% legit. But in reality, it is just a theory. So I do want everybody to be conscious. I want everybody to be aware of that, and make sure you go out and get your own information, do your own research. Is this the proof out there that I need? I don't need proof. I've seen them twice. I know they exist. I don't need proof from anybody. Do you guys want proof? I'll give you some advice if you want to potentially have proof. You know what I suggest? Grab your tent on a weekday. Start camping on weekdays. Get away from the weekends. You can do something as simple as camping, and it's fun to do with the family. Head near or inside a provincial park. Camp there during the off season, preferably when it's not quite as busy. And all you need to do is have a receptive mind. That's it. And you'll be shocked of what kind of results you get just from doing that. I gotta wrap this video up, guys. It's been good to have you all here. Thanks to everyone who stuck around for the entire video. I know it may have been kind of boring. I don't know, maybe you enjoyed it. It was a long video for me to make. Worked on it quite a few days, and it is late, almost 2 a.m. I gotta be up at 6 a.m. for work. I gotta wrap this up right now, and I do really hope those videos are real for everyone's sake involved. And I want to hear from all you guys in the comments. And cheers for now. And thanks again for joining me on my version of The Proof Is Out There.